as you know, we have many summits on a recurring basis. We talk a lot, but what we must do is to walk the talk. And for me, I think Business Day always, blaze trail, as it were, or trailblaze, whichever you want to put it. And for me, I think the discourse we must have today, or the conversation we must have today, must be one that speaks to the issues, particularly with respect to agriculture as the entire value chain, and how we must strive to be self-sufficient, And self-sufficiency should not be a slogan or a mantra, but it should be something that we should all, in totality look at. From a government perspective in terms of policy enabling, and from the private sector in terms of policy implementation.
So taking practical steps.
Yes.
Starting from tomorrow, for instance, what do you think the private sector needs to start doing?
Well, government has done a bit in the sense that government has come up with a framework for us to work with. That framework might not be acceptable to all, but at least it gives a bit of insight into the government thinking. But we private sector players must do our bit, and in doing our bit, we must not only do our bit in terms of talking, but in terms of working. And I think we're already doing that. What we need to do is to have much more collaboration. This is what I will call collaboration, cooperation, coexistence, and by extension, cohabitation. So it's what you might call the 4 C's. So, and I think that will help us, get to the desired goal. Let me even give an example. Look at rice, for example. Rice we consume 7 million tons. We produce around about 2.7, and there's a gap of 4.3. But in the last 1 year, thereabout, the country, based on the CBN Anchor Borrower Program intervention on the part of the CBN, which is by extension the federal government, over 1 million tons have been added to the paddy production. So it's a good first step, but we must continue it as well. So outgrowers are playing a leading role, and that I think it's quite commendable. And I think we should do that along other value chains. We are quite. I'm one of those who believe that for you to be competitive, you can only be competitive in crops that you have comparative advantage, and that I think should be the key. Look at, for example, about 10 or 20 years ago, Nigeria used to produce close to 300,000 metric tons of cotton. Right now, we're struggling with 20,000-30,000. So these are the stories that you hear on a regular basis. Prior to now, we used to be very, very strong in granite. But right now, abysmally, we've gone down. So we can go on and on and on and on. But for me, we have to rewrite that script. And writing that script is going to take the cooperation of all. So public-private sector partnership and collaboration is very key and very imperative.